So some of y'all have been asking me to do a naked bike list. I thought this would be a fun one to do because I'm not really into naked bikes. Personally, I'd rather turn a super bike into a naked bike, which back then they used to call that a Streetfighter conversion. Some people didn't know that that was a thing. Everybody remembers the cafe racer scene, but the exact same way regular bikes were stripped and converted into cafe racers, super bikes were also stripped and converted into Streetfighters. That's the reason we now have this naked bike segment of motorcycles. Anyway, let's get on with this video. I came up with 5 categories that I thought were all pretty objective. At the end of this, I'll get into the subjective stuff. Let's start with the 7 bikes I chose. The Aprilia Tuono V4 1100 Factory, the BMW M1000R, Ducati Streetfighter V4S, Kawasaki ZH2 SE, Suzuki GSX S1000, Triumph Speed Triple 1200, Triumph Speed Triple 1200, and the Yamaha MT10 SP. First category is price. First place gets 7 points, last place gets 1 point. Alright, so we'll start with the cheapest. I think it's pretty obvious, the Suzuki. 11,499 MSRP. Under 12 grand for a naked bike. Not bad. Coming in at second place, Yamaha MT10 SP. A little over $5,000 more than the Suzuki. The Yamaha comes in at 17,199 MSRP. Third place goes to Triumph. Their speed triple is $18,500. Fourth, the Aprilia Tuono, $19,499. Just under 20K. Woo, for a naked bike, bro. Fifth place, Kawasaki ZH2, $20,700. Sixth place, BMW M1000R, $26,435 for a freaking naked bike. Jesus. And in 7th place with 1 point. No surprise here because the metal they use is adamantium. The Ducati Streetfighter V4S. $27,795 MSRP. With taxes, that's over 30K. Holy sh! Okay, power numbers. This was something hard to find, but this is what I found. Ducati gets first at 208 horsepower. BMW is a close second at 205 horsepower. Third place, Kawasaki ZH2, 197 horsepower. But I also think that bike gets like the most torque, 101. It's supercharged. I'm gonna keep it at third. Fourth place goes to Triumph, 177 horsepower. Fifth place goes to the Aprilia, 175 horsepower. Sixth place goes to Yamaha at 164. Last is Suzuki, 150. Okay, this next category may or may not be subjective, but I also think it's objective. Wheels. You either have forged wheels or you don't. So there's only 2 bikes worth mentioning here, and they're the only ones that get the points. Ducati comes with forged wheels, 1 point. Now the BMW M1000R comes with carbon fiber wheels. I'm gonna give that bike an extra point. 2 for BMW, 1 for Ducati. Everybody else gets none. Next factor for me is suspension. Okay, this one again, you either get the point or you don't. The only one that didn't get the point for me was the Suzuki GSX S1000. I think it just comes with their basic suspension. It would have been cool to see the Showa BFF forks on this bike, just like they do in their GSX R1000R. I don't know, maybe they need to release a GSX S1000R. All the other bikes have Öhlins except for the Kawasaki ZH2, but it does have a really nice electronic Showa package, so that also got a point. Okay, next is wet weight. This category kind of varied. It was really interesting, but here we go. In a surprising first place with 7 points, the Ducati V4S, 435 pound wet weight. I thought with the carbon fiber wheels, the BMW was gonna take it, but it didn't even get second. Second place actually goes to Triumph. The Speed Triple 1200 is only 436 pounds, just 1 pound heavier than the Ducati. Third place goes to BMW. The M1000R weighs 438 pounds. Now, we're talking like a 1 or 2 pound difference, but it is what it is. Those are the numbers that I could find. Fourth place goes to the Aprilia, 460 pounds. God, that's a heavy bike. There's no 5th place because we have a tie at 6th place, and that's the Suzuki and the Yamaha, 472 pounds each. And last place was kind of obvious, the Kawasaki ZH2. That bike's heavy, 531 pounds. Alright, that's our 5 categories. Drum roll, please. Tied for last place with a total of 10 points each, Suzuki and Kawasaki. Not much to say there. One has a ton of power and it's super heavy, and the other one has like the least power out of all of them. Not too heavy and pretty decent price. I hate to put the Suzuki in last place because it's such a good bargain for what you get, but it is what it is. 5th place, Yamaha MT10 SP. They got 11 points total, not that far from the Suzuki or the Kawasaki. 164 horsepower, $17,000, but you get full Öhlins, which is nice. 4th place, I think this was kind of obvious. This bike's always in the middle somewhere. The Tuono V4 1100 Factory. It's an excellent motorcycle. At 175 horsepower, that's plenty. Price is a little on the high end, but it's Aprilia, and it doesn't really weigh too much, but it's not as light as the BMW or Ducati. Okay, the next one one was a surprise to me. The Triumph Speed Triple 1200. I thought the Tuono would beat this bike, but the Triumph came out 2 points ahead of it. It's much lighter than the Tuono at 436 pounds, has a little bit more horsepower at 177, and it costs less than the Tuono. Damn, that's a good bike, bro, the Triumph. First and second's a toss-up. Okay, at 16 points, the BMW M1000R got second place, but this is like barely. Ducati got first at 17 points. What can I say? The Ducati just has a little bit more for a little bit more money. BMW has 205 horsepower, Ducati has 208. BMW is 438 pounds, Ducati is 435 pounds. BMW MSRP is 26.4, Ducati is 27.7. I'm gonna go into the subjective a little bit. I love forged wheels. I think it's worth the money. But I also like a bike with a little bit of soul and character. At least the Ducati has forged wheels, and it has the sound. If I really wanted to, I'd put carbon wheels on the Ducati. I can't make BMW's inline 4 not sound like a Gixxer. It's gonna be Ducati for me. I wouldn't pay Ducati price, but I would pay Aprilia price. The Tuono wins it for me, but I would also highly consider the Triumph. Let me know your thoughts.